Hello and welcome everyone to Galactic Gumbo episode 25. We're going to be talking about all things nerdy. We're going to be talking about our Mount Rushmore of conventions. We're going to be talking about the TFcon and San Diego Comic-Con, what we kind of are, looking to expect, what we want to see at these two shows. And then we're also going to do the houses on fire, which 5 items do you grab? So it's kind of a Mount Rushmore, I guess you could say, in its own, but doing it a different way. And probably, other topics will come up, so we'll address those as well. So anyways, if you guys haven't watched it yet, after this is done, we have a Cybercast show where we cover Transformer news and action figure news. That is up in video form, so if you want to go check that out, that's also on my YouTube channel, G1Xtron. And I think it was a really good show. We had a lot of fun, cracked a lot of jokes and stuff like that. So really entertaining show. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody. And Mike, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter as BotConFan1978 and here on YouTube as Autobot City Toys.
D?
You can find me everywhere at PrimalSabbath.
Rick?
And I'm on Twitter as Shatrdglassjazz.
And you can find me, G1Xtron, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1Xtron. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off with hauls. I know that Rick and I, we got just a couple things. But Mike, you want to start off?
Oh, because you automatically assume that I have the lowest amount of stuff.
No, I'm not saying that, but I know that I got my really big haul.
I saw yours.
And then Rick was like, "Oh, I got a few things in too. This might be like a 40-minute, just talking about hauls." So
I somewhat believe that. It's actually been at least one episode, a couple weeks since I've done the show, since I was JoeCon, PCon, and everything. I picked up everything at JoeCon as far as the box set, the exclusives, and everything. Trying to think of what specially I got at JoeCon. Now I gotta look around. I got the 12-inch box set, the 3 3/4-inch box set. Maybe I do have the smallest one set. Let's see.
You bought some FSS stuff, didn't you? There, I thought you bought some stuff you needed, like sub figures that you did.
Yeah, I did have it one time. I picked them back up. It was a big lob. I picked that up. What else did I got? The Super Joes from the club store, which are really cool 12-inch characters. And then I actually picked up the 12-inch Man of Mystery add-on set for the club figure as well. I didn't get really a whole lot at JoeCon, I guess you'd say, but I know PCon I did pretty good. I was able to pick this up again. It's the Energon Optimus Prime. It's just been a real cool combiner toy, which would be considered 5 in a fire sale, just to be politically correct. But I picked that up. I actually picked up a Donna Predicus loose set from Pete at PCon. Let's make a deal for $70, which was actually a steal of a deal. Yeah, steal of a deal on that one. I got a few knickknacks here and there. Nothing to get shat about. And I had fun at PCon and JoeCon, and had good times with good people. Like Rick and Dakota. They were okay to hang out with.
Oh, Rick, you were there?
Well, Rick went to JoeCon.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so one week I was with Rick, and then the following week I was with Dakota. So it was like.
Don't forget about Little D. He said, "Yeah, I'm the redheaded stepchild that everybody forgets."
You know what? Since he's not here, I'll go ahead and. He's like an old man. He goes to bed so early, and he's at the foot of my bed sleeping, and then Brad's on the other side of the room, and they're both complaining about me and Dakota being too loud coming in there. Well, of course, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. We'd both been drinking. But the point being was, I'm like, you're at a con. You don't sleep at cons, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
coming in now, I think
these two. I think I've got a pretty good story about the drive up for the show. Whenever we stopped at the diner in Tennessee.
On the way back, you mean?
No, on the way there.
Oh, shut up. Go the next hall. We'll talk about this. Oh, my-
I got to tell the story. So we all go into this diner and like our food was coming out at separate times or whatever, and
horrible.
like whatever that was kind of bad. But like on the way out, remind you, it's me and Brad and Mike. Like Brad and Mike, like both of you are no doubt old enough to be my father. So on the way out the door, she's like, thanks, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I was like, yeah, me and my two dads, we loved it.
And then of course he waits till. I mean, I caught what he said, and it was pouring down rain outside, and I didn't have time to mess around with him. And then he was like, "Hey, did you not hear what I said to you when we were walking out of the restaurant?" Yeah, I knew it. And then he mentioned it again. I'm like, yeah, I heard you the first time you said it.
Dude, Brett, I don't think Brad ever farted on my
shut the hell
pillow.
up.
I didn't get pink eye. So.
Oh, Dalton's chiming in. Little Grandpa Dalton.
Dude, I'm telling you, guys are old men at conventions. It's ridiculous.
Not me. I want to party and get drunk.
All right. What about your haul?
My haul, let's see. I got Perfect Effect Calidus, or not Perfect Effect, Jesus. Mastermind Creations Calidus. I got MP38. Both of them came in. And I got a original Beast Wars Optimus Primal Final Colors test shot.
Yeah. Very nice.
That was really good price on it, too.
He got a steal of a deal on that one.
I really did.
He did.
And it was awesome. It was awesome getting it. Never thought I'd really get a prototype from that era. So glad that I got it. And let's see. I picked up some like classic stuff for the Lost Light shelf, some stuff that I used to have, some stuff I didn't have. And I got a 10th anniversary Megatron from Beast Wars. So that
you actually walked away with your wallet too.
Yeah. Ooh, that was scary. That was super scary.
Do we have time for another story, Josh? Can we have a story time again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dakota. Don't get your wallet.
All right, so
it better be good.
So Brian and Jared, they're like, hey, we're gonna walk down the street, which I was not a fan of to begin with. To go to like some burger place to get a burger. So I was like, all right, cool. So I make this journey with them, and by the time we all walk in, like they're getting seated, like I realized I'm missing something and I don't have my wallet. So I have a like little miniature breakdown. I just leave them in the restaurant. I'm like, bye. So like I'm on my way back. I'm walking back, and I call Mike. I was like, hey, dude, are you in the panel room? Thinking like maybe it fell out of my pocket in the panel room. And he was like, yeah. So he checked it there. I was like, yeah, it wasn't there. So I was like, dude, go check the front desk. He goes, call Dalton. He's up in the room. So I called Dalton, and I'm like, Dalton, like, is my wallet there? Look for my wallet. And then it's not there.
Out of his back pocket. I actually have it right
here. And it's not there. So I'm calling Mike again. I'm like, dude, are you at the front desk? And he's like, yeah, hang on. And so he's asking them, he's like, hey, did you guys get like a black 3-fold wallet, Louisiana license in there?
Tell him his name and everything.
And she just hands it over to Mike.
Handed it right to me. She looked at it. She literally opened it up, saw his picture, and I'm like, yeah, that's him. And she handed it over to me. And they're like, okay, yeah, I got it. But it's amazing that she, knowing it wasn't me in the picture, she handed it right over. And
she probably thought you were one of my two dads.
Shut up. and then, of course, the next thing he said, like, oh, man, is the money still in there?
Yeah. Woo.
You lucked out because there was quite a bit of money in there.
Like, here's the thing, though, man. Like, I have found, like, wallets, like, loaded with cash. Like, all that. Now, I do the right thing, and I don't take any of the money. And so I was like, okay, the one time like this is gonna happen to me, I'll get lucky and no one will take my money, and that's exactly what happened. I got super lucky and no one took any of my money. So
I should have said nope. Someone cleans you out.
Oh my God!
You would have left that cash in the bathroom, then
Oh man! So,
okay, we're done with story time now.
What about you, Little D? And also, with your haul, and tell people where they can find you. And I guess if you have a funny story, then I guess we're doing that too. Then
you can find me pretty much everywhere at Dalton and CFs. For hauls, I mean, not a major one. I did get a custom waspinator from Jesse for like $20. So there's that. You got the Universe Sunstreaker. Been after that for quite a while. Night Watch Leader Optimus Prime for $15. Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty. Oh, and for Let's Make a Deal, I picked up another 2016 Tarantulas and a 2014 Brimstone.
Yeah, we didn't make fun of Dalton too much on this trip, so he doesn't have a funny story. We were actually.
Did you do anything funny, Dalton? No, I know you did.
Actually, no, not really.
He was very well behaved. He went to bed early.
Shut up.
Very well behaved.
God damn it, Mike.
I'm glad.
I'm riding this high.
The youngest one in the group is the most responsible.
Probably.
Dude,
all right,
so
guys, it's your
I
8 a.m. wake up call. We need everybody to, get up and go into this panel.
Saturday night, man, I got trashed.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to get someone to like drink one of those beers with me, and like nobody wanted to drink a beer. So I've got a backpack full of like slightly below room temperature Guinness Extra Stout, and I'm just like knocking them. But yeah, no refrigerator in the room. So I'm hoping.
Did Dalton have like a Zima with you or something?
What?
Nah, man, no one wanted to drink with me. So,
well, we sat with you while you drank, so that kind of counts.
Yeah, so I was having to knock them back because like no one was drinking. I was like, well, these guys aren't going to stay down here for this very long.
Yeah, usually at the conventions, like I'm the one that's always drinking. Like I just keep beers on my backpack, just always drinking from in the morning until night. To where like actually you could get drunk just by sitting next to me because it's just coming out of my pores.
Oh, God.
I remember that refrigerator at BotCon. That son of a bitch was packed from top to bottom full of beer. Oh my God.
It wasn't much different for your show either, Mike. Like that's as it was beers and Capri Suns.
All right, what about you, Rick? What you got, man?
Yeah, sit back for the hall section. The JoeCon stuff, I got all of the 3 3/4 items that they had there. I broke these into categories because I drove to JoeCon, so I had my truck there. So I got the vintage G.I. Joe stuff. I got Rolling Thunder, and all these vehicles come with the drivers. I got the Cobra Mamba. I got the Phantom Stealth, the Warthog, the Cobra Pogo Ballistic Battle Ball, and another Hiss Tank. I'm not going to go through all the vintage figures, but there's probably like 35, at least 35 vintage figures. I will say I finally got a Keel haul. I've been wanting that one because I never had a flag, and I just kind of wanted him. He doesn't take seven feet of space up, so I can deal with that. Yeah, so I got like a ton of vintage stuff, and I really loaded up on troopers like Eels and just Cobra guys and anything that. The one thing I found out is that and I knew that stuff's inflated on eBay, but like the Joe stuff is extremely inflated on eBay. Getting it in person at this con is totally different from Transformers. I saved probably, I don't know, like $400 or $500 just getting this stuff in person. The FSS stuff, because I missed out on the Joe Club stuff from years ago, but I got a Keel haul and an Iron Claw and the Footloose, the Joe Colton, Cross Country, the Kim Arashikage, a lot of the ones that are harder to find.
Oh, nice, dude. What'd you get for that Kim Arashikage?
A kidney and a leg.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Let me tell you what, he was walking around Saturday morning. Not even 10 minutes opening to the show. He's already double fisting his hands with bags full of Joes.
Wow.
Erica was sitting outside with like all the vehicles that I talked about. All of them
Yeah.
were boxed. They were
It's
all
hilarious.
boxed. So Erica was outside with like this whole section of toys sitting in a chair guarding it.
She was.
I see Rick at this joke convention, like he said, first 10 minutes, like he's already like, all right, I got all this stuff, and like it reminds me of Dalton the first time with the
Yeah.
box on, like he hits that. The show hadn't even opened, but he hits up all these like room parties and like basically spent all his and CDs before he even got to the.
That's it. That was nice.
You pump the brakes a little bit. The convention hasn't even opened yet.
It was so here's I don't really have a really funny story. I have some stories, but nothing crazy. But the cool thing about JoeCon was, and much like the early BotCons, when I stepped in and Mike had told me like the table to go to, when I went to this guy's table, it was unbelievable. Like they said he was going to have like a lot of stuff other than the Defiant, which I didn't need. He had everything else. I don't think there's anything that this guy didn't have, as long as you're not like deep into it, like the Brazil stuff, or UK. He even had some of that stuff, but like as far as the American release stuff, I mean, most everything he had boxed.
Mhm.
It was crazy. And as far as like the vintage figures, I think he had them all. I didn't see any that he was missing. It was crazy. And it was a lot of fun too. I had never seen like all that Joe stuff together like that in one room. So like I said, it was like an early BotCon when you used to be able to walk in and it was just every G1 figure, American, Japanese, that you've ever seen pictures of.
I forgot to tell you guys to like find me a V2 Snake Eyes, but
You're 3 weeks late on that one.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the good thing about Chris is that by next year he will have fully restocked again and have it be the same setup all over again with specialized. I mean, I don't know where the guy gets it at or how he gets it or who he's robbing in the middle of the night, but man, he's got some serious good stuff.
Yeah.
Sportimus says he misses seeing G.I. Joes in stores. I just saw that Ross has started getting those 3-packs of Joes, so you might want to check with Ross.
Well, here's a little sad story for him, just so he knows that do not plan on seeing any G.I. Joes in retail till 2019 at the least.
Yeah.
Not happening until the next movie comes out, they said.
Oh, what a bummer.
Rick's like, I still got Hall stuff.
Yeah, let's get.
Oh my God, are we serious?
Well, we got a show to get to, so let me finish up.
So much that Mike voice cracked.
Yeah, seriously, Mike. How long you been going through the change, bud?
Hey, y'all leave Rick alone. Let him finish his list.
I got the Spider-Man Homecoming Marvel Legends. And I gotta say that this is a line, like if I could cut anything, I would cut Legends, but I have not been able to cut it because the figures are phenomenal. The Tombstone, the Vulture, both Spider-Mans, I would say they're all like 9 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s. It's a great wave.
Thinking about that Tombstone.
Oh man, he looks good. I did finally find a Voyager Megatron sitting in a Walmart, and I transformed that today. And I hadn't bought any of the movie toys this time. It's the first time ever I've skipped on movie toys. I gotta say, he's probably got the best transformation of anything official this year, with the exception being Black Shadow, because I thought that one was really simple and worked for me. His transformation is damn solid. He looks good in both modes. I don't know if I'm going to get any other movie toys. I might get Nitro Zeus, but the Megatron is solid.
Oh, you should get Mohawk as well.
Yeah,
dude. If they make a Mohawk, like I'm getting it. Like I'll get all the Decepticons. I just liked how they were introduced in the movie.
I did too.
See, I've been telling people, at PRC that the best mold to use for that would be the Brimstone from Revenge of the Fallen. Just
that's true.
Mohawk on him.
I finally got they finally released the Mastermind Creations Calidus. I picked that up.
Yes, sir.
He's phenomenal.
How you liking that?
He's beautiful. Both
Isn't
modes. I love the robot mode, but I got to tell you that vehicle mode is amazing, and it's just the right size too, where it kind of fits in your hand just kind of perfectly. And I don't know, it's The MMC's knocking that out of the park, man.
You know, I was thinking like those, like the front of the vehicle were actually his feet, but the fact that like, you know, that's actually like hanging off the back of the legs or whatever, it's really smart. But like that said, I'm still looking forward more to the SXS Toys version, I think.
Yeah. I got a few Star Wars Black Series, just a few: Lando, Tusken Raider, Royal Guard, Vader. Might be one or two others, but I'm behind on those. I finally got my Mondo Turtles. The Donatello finally came in. I've yet to open it because I've just been backed up with a bunch of stuff, and that's pretty much it.
Let's see. Sportimus says he can't find those Marvel Legends Homecoming. Walmart. They aren't on the pegs. I went because I like walked from the toy aisle and I walked like back to where the electronics section is, and during kind of like their alleyways, they have like an 8-foot section. It's basically like 2 pallets worth where it's just all Spider-Man stuff. Like it was Transformers stuff, and they have moved that, and now it's all Spider-Man with like DVDs and clothes. And there's a section on there where they got, I think, like 4 or 5 cases in of Marvel Legends for that Spider-Man. So that's where I would check for that if you're looking for it. As far as me, I always have to look at my Instagram to find this stuff out. That's how I keep track of stuff. I got as far as Star Wars Black Series, I got Qui-Gon Jinn, I got Lando, I got 2 of the Tusken Raiders, 3 Jawas, Stormtrooper, I got Titans Returns, Quake, Perceptor, which I'm going to get rid of, and I got Top Spin, and let's see. Then I got again Star Wars Black Series. Sure, those 2 guys from Rogue One. Baze is one of them. The other one, Shuichi or something. I forget what his name is. Got those. I got from DC Collectibles the New Adventures Batman, Catwoman, and Riddler. I got the Takara, Brainstorm, and God Bomber. I got the DC Collectibles New Adventures Girls Night Out 5-pack. I've got the animated series Expressions Batman. I got the NECA quarter scale Leonardo. And then for DC Icon series, I got Static Shock, Swamp Thing, Deathstroke, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg. And then for DC's Bombshells, we got Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, and Batwoman. Those Bombshells, man. Oh, they're incredible. So, all right. So I figured let's go ahead and now that we're 25 minutes in, we're done with hauls and introductions. Let's go ahead and start with Mount Rushmore. So Mount Rushmore, we're going to do it on conventions, and these don't have to be necessarily conventions that you attend to, but these are the ones that you enjoy the most. So whether it's coverage or news, whatever the panels or ones that you do go to, which ones do you enjoy the most? So
see, I did a breakdown of like ones that I've attended by favorite years. That's what I assumed.
Okay, well, I'll tell you which ones that I did. I guess I'll go first on this. I did the San Diego Comic-Con. I love it because of all the info, and you get to see new product, and for a lot of lines. So I really enjoy that one. I like New York Toy Fair because same thing. It's like 6 months later. I get one every 6 months on those where they're also showing new product and stuff like that. So that's what I like to see. Always the new product, and then see it go up for pre-order and just be like, all right, here's all my money. So I really enjoyed those. The other one is the Fan Expo Dallas that I go to and cover as media, and Mike went with me. Was it this year?
Yeah.
It's okay this year, and then last year Dakota went with me. So maybe this time we can get all 3 of us because I can get 2 extra passes.
Well, he was supposed to go with us, and he didn't go.
Yeah, got him a free pass and everything. So maybe we could do that again. But I always like that one because the panels are just so well done, I think, and the guest list and everything, it's really well done. That's one that you guys need to fly in for. These guys can, you know, they can tell you about it. It's really great. And then I would say, even though it's no longer exists, I'd say BotCon, just because that's where, you know, that one convention to where I know just basically everyone's going to, that I could always meet up with and stuff like that, everybody, and we could have a good time. And it was, you know, a long event, like especially if you go with Dakota, because Dakota's all like talking about like arriving on like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, like really early. So, you know, it just makes it a week event, you know, with friends. So I really like that one. So it needs to come back.
All right, I guess I'll go. For me, I did it just based on conventions I've attended. But like you said, man, Fan Expo Dallas, that definitely made it to the list. The one last year, and for a lot of the same reasons. Like, it is a very big convention. It's that I think last year they had, I think that was whenever the Civil War II stuff kicked off. Like, they had, you know, an exclusive cover for it and all that other stuff. So like there was, you know, some you know, some kind of incentive to go to it, like a little souvenir sort of thing. The dealer room was massive. They had a lot of like cool props you could like take pictures with and stuff like that, which that's never really a big like draw for me. But and the panels, the panels were well done, and all that stuff. BotCon 2014, just like as a specific, and there's 2 BotCons that made it to this list for me, no surprise. But 2014 was really cool. That was my first year as a golden ticket, and how like I really had overlooked that whenever I went in 2012. All the extra stuff you got to do as a golden ticket was really cool, and there was a lot of cool things that went on at the 2014 show.
Really, we got crickets going on?
Dalton playing crickets while Dakota's talking.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead.
Or no, that may be me because I'm outside. There's crickets going outside.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm outside too.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
So let's see. Little Rock Comic Con this year was
look at that, a little love.
It really was, man. It was a big thing for me because, you know, I got to have a lot of FaceTime with Gary, and just basically, you know, hanging out with that dude for the entire weekend. And of course, you know, like Paul was there, Josh was there, Mike, like, you know, it was like a little BotCon reunion sort of thing. But that one was really cool. And last year's BotCon, meeting Judd Nelson, doing that thing again, like I went as a golden ticket. You know, it was just a really good show. Like, the venue was good, the hotel room, the hotel was just awesome in general, especially for the price.
Mm-hmm.
That freaking condo that we stayed in. So that was that's my Mount Rushmore.
See, for me, I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm not, usually I don't rank these things, but for the first one, it's gonna be my top one, and that would be BotCon last year. Just, you know, the hotel, everything was great. Hanging out with all of you guys, you know, having Chris come all the way from Wales and hanging out with us. Just everything about it was even better than 2014, which I'd probably put right behind it. Pizza Robot Convention, for the first one, I mean, it was a pretty good show. So, you know, for what it was, I really enjoyed it. And New York Toy Fair, because it's what you see coming out for the next first 6 months of the year. So that's something, you know, I like about that. So
yeah, and I'll be honest, like, can we do honorable mentions too?
We'll do it later.
Okay.
We'll do it after everybody's gone. What was your fourth, D?
that was all 4.
Oh, it was? Okay.
2016, 2014, Pizza Robot Convention, and New York.
I think me and you, we're like that because 3 of your 4, we're always together.
Okay.
Who's next?
Right,
I'll go. Yeah, okay. One that I don't go to, but I really love this year because the coverage has just gotten so good, and that's the Star Wars Celebration. I felt like I saw all the panels, all the coverage. They just did a really good job streaming that stuff. And it's really cool now because there's a Star Wars movie every year, you know. So, and the Rebels series has been really good. So I'd say Star Wars Celebration. The two that I've gone to that I just like the way that they put on the show is definitely BotCon and JoeCon. And I just did the first JoeCon. I would call JoeCon like BotCon light, but it felt like BotCon. There were even BotCon people there that didn't go to JoeCon, which that was crazy to me. That, you know, there are people that came in. Like I know Claire over on at the Sabertron guys that does the twin cast. She was there, and I met a few people that I hadn't met at BotCon that were there. We hung out with them one night. That was cool. And then, you know, Mike and I met a lot of people. JoeCon, I know they told me this going in, but saying that how nice everybody is, it is absolutely true. Like everybody, we met so many people at JoeCon, my wife and I, and everyone was like super nice. It was a great experience. And I'd say BotCon too, and just Fun Pub in general, because they know how to, I'm big on toys. Yeah, people are cool, but I love me some damn toys. And Fun Pub knows how to do premium collectibles. That's just what they do, man. They're good at it. So the first three, I just wanted to point this out. They're all specific to one thing, like Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. And I say that because the last one isn't. I don't want to attend SDCC. I just don't have any interest in attending because I'm not about that kind of convention. I like specific stuff. But like Josh said, I love the news that comes out and all the product. You get trailers and all kinds of stuff. So the news, all the news that comes out, seeing the sideshow and hot toy stuff, because that's always a big one for them because it's, you know, in their neck of the woods. So you get a lot of that. So I'd say SDCC is that last one.
Yeah, I love the Toy Fair and SDCC from my chair right here.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what do you got?
I really got to agree with you and Rick both on San Diego. I mean, even though it is a madhouse, crazy, all kinds of crap happens out there. But I mean, as far as news coverage, trailers, everything Rick mentioned, I agree 100% as that being a great show to, like you said, sit in front of your computer and watch. I don't want to be there in the madness and the 12 hours waiting in line to see a panel or something crazy like that, or trying to get the exclusives. Granted, you know, we get some good exclusives, but not this year. But, you know, in past years, we've got some cool stuff from San Diego Comic-Con. So they do a great job, in my opinion. Again, I mean, Rick named them both, BotCon, JoeCon. I've gone to 7 BotCons and I've gone to 4 JoeCons. And, you know, Fun Pub puts on a great show. I mean, and he pretty much nailed it on the head. You know, there's a very different atmosphere between BotCon and JoeCon as far as people you're going to hang out with or people you know. And, you know, when you're hanging out with Transformer fans, we're a bunch of asses, and you're with Joe people, they're more genuine than anything else. I mean, they just are. I mean,
not all of them. Not all of them.
Well, not the people in our circle, except for Dalton. You know, he's an ass. But I mean, you know, there's
whatever.
But I mean, there's just certain things. You know, you just gotta have the flair for that show or whatever the case may be on that. You know, and so. My last one's a really hard one because I really don't want to say a show that I've never been to, but the only other show I've actually been to would have to be Dallas Fan Expo, and that was really my first show outside of, you know, anything here in Arkansas, including my own show, JoeCon, BotCon. It's like I was amazed on how huge the dealer room was, how huge, or how many people were there, and just the dealer room, it was humongous. I mean, it was a good show to go to. I enjoyed it. Even the
The
lines
guest
weren't
list
as
is
bad.
typically top notch too, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was able to get to. I didn't get to go up to him and talk to him, but to get to see Adam West before he passed from just not even 20 yards away from me, and going to his panel and getting to hear him talk, seeing Mark Hamill. I'll never know if I ever see that man again in my life. Those were good experiences to see those people and get to hear, sitting on their panel, doing the media thing with Josh. The only downfall to Dallas Fan Expo was I've never seen so many damn pop figures in my life. There must have been at least 500,000 in that damn dealer room. I'm not kidding you. I mean, every dealer had, pops out the yin yang. It was crazy. So, just never in my life seen so many in my life. But it was good. Good cosplayers were there. There were, any con you go to, there's some Fruit Loops there. There were fair share of Fruit Loops, and it was a good experience to get to go to it. And
Fruit Loops.
and if I get to go next year, there was this one couple. I think they were both girls, and they were like in the middle of everybody that was standing around in the middle of this courtyard, and like all of a sudden she just plops down on one knee, I guess, proposed to her. I don't know what the deal was. We both kind of like looked at it for a second, like, what the hell is that crap about?
Nice romantic place to pop the question.
Some people do think that's the way, but
Didn't that happen at your show too, Mike?
yeah, it's so funny you should mention that. Like that guy pulled that off of my show. I was like, well, the worst thing she's gonna say is no.
In front of all these people.
Yeah, I was like, I told him when he told me like a month before the show he was doing it, I was telling him, like, boy, I hope she says yes, because you got all these people watching. Because I'm going to be the one going to be going, womp, womp, womp. So.
All right, a couple things. Sportimus in the comments, he's listed, he says, PowerCon with all the Master of the Universe panels, with the voice actors. San Diego Comic-Con toys revealed. He says he wants to go to a TFcon someday because it's still small enough to enjoy. He says I want to go to the Seattle Comic-Con because it's big with lots of panels and toys, but not huge like SDCC. I think that SDCC is just a beast that can no longer really be contained. One of the things about Fan Expo Dallas is, there's like 75,000 people there. But I think that they have good organizers because there's usually like all the panels you want to go to for the most part. Like there's always overlapping stuff, but if you're kind of into a certain genre, like if you're into I don't know, cosplay or something, that you could go to all the cosplay panels. Like you're not having cosplay panels overlap. If you're a Star Wars fan, then you can get to all the Star Wars panel. Like they organize it really well. They put the ones that are needed to be in big rooms in the big auditoriums and the arenas, the ones that are smaller. So they made I've been working with the guy now for 2 years, and he does a really good job of organizing it, I think. So let's see. Bill said that he traded a G1 hot rod today for a Fort Max. Still putting on stickers on it.
What? Like a Titans Return Fort Max, or
I'm
like Encore?
It could have been an Encore. There's no way.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it is, since he says he's putting on the stickers.
Well, the stickers came with both, so.
Yeah, but I don't think you're getting an original Fort Max that doesn't have stickers on it already.
Well, that's I meant like either Encore or Titans Return.
Oh, okay.
So.
Let's see here. Dodgers just tied the game with Homer in the 8th. Yeah, baby. How my Lakers doing? They're up at halftime.
Sports, lame, ew, gross.
I've got one little show, like a honorable mention. This was the first show that I went to. I'm still big into comics, I still buy a lot of comics, but it was somewhere, I don't remember the year, it was probably early 90s, because I can tell you who was there. It was pretty cool. The Image Comics had just been formed, and it was like McFarlane and Eric Larson maybe, and that whole Jim Lee. It was like maybe 5 of those guys that had just left, the big comic book companies and started Image. And I remember the line to get to their section was like 2.5 blocks in Philadelphia. And I just remember standing there being like, this is great. This is crazy. I'd never done anything like it. And I got to meet all of them. And it was cool because I'd always been a Marvel fan. And it felt fresh. Spawn and Savage Dragon and all that stuff was coming out. But the other thing that was cool was Batman the Animated Series had been on not long. And there was this tiny panel room. And in that tiny panel room, there were probably, I would say, like 50 of us. And you could literally ask Paul Dini and Bruce Timm questions. I mean, it couldn't have been more than 50 people in the room. So I remember going to that and just being like, and even now, like looking back then, I didn't know exactly how amazing the experience was. John Romita Jr., Joe Madureira, like all these people that were, big. I grew up with some of the guys, and some of the guys were new and fresh on the scene. But looking back at it, I can't believe like I got to be able to do that, and and it wasn't very crowded. Like the line for the Image folks was the only thing that was like kind of crazy. Like the Bruce Timm and Paul Dini thing, you could walk right up to them. It's crazy. Like I can't even imagine that now. They have so much stuff that they've done since then. But that was definitely one of the coolest conventions I've been to. I've been to some mega cons in Florida, and that Philadelphia show, though, I'll remember that one because it was my first.
I could just imagine like the first question out of a room full of 50 nerds to Bruce Timm is, how you make all these women so hot? Why you drawing everybody so sexy? I guess I kind of have two, because you mentioned one, the Star Wars Celebration. That's something that I would absolutely love to go to. And I was thinking the other one would probably be like E3, with the video games and stuff like that. That would be a good one since I like, playing video games as well.
I see. One honorable mention I'll have to give is Colorado Springs Comic Con. I think this is going to be their 2nd or 3rd year, and their guest list is, still being announced. I mean, this year alone, they're going to have Sam Jones, Michael Rooker, Billy D. Williams, Reddy on Bosch. And it just keeps going from there. They've got so many coming. Go.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams, get them to autograph anything?
Probably the 1989 Batman. Either that or
a Colt 45. That. Anyone else?
Yeah, man, my honorable mentions Acon for sure. The anime convention in Dallas. A lot of talent walking around out there.
Yeah.
And definitely Pete's Robot Con. I don't know if any of you guys remember those old like BotCon articles I wrote a couple of years ago. Yeah. But it felt like it was one of those like early 90s shows. So like I'm hoping to like definitely see that grow, and for everything else that kind of comes out of that would be really cool. Like it was just awesome. The panels were really cool. So yeah, he had a really just nice all around selection, and seeing all that super rare stuff just kind of on display there. That was really cool as well.
Mine would have to be TFcon. I've gone to TFcon before, had a good time. Just haven't been able to make it to another one since then. But I think it was the first one they did in the U.S. in Chicago.
Yeah,
we went to, and it was in kind of like a little dungeon area. I mean, it was pretty cool. It had a small feeling. Small con. It wasn't big or anything. Like I said, I'd like to get back to it before it got too big, I would say, but I don't know if it will or won't. So that's my one. All
right, so let's go ahead and get into what are you kind of expecting or looking forward to at TFcon and San Diego Comic-Con. We can start off with TFcon. One thing that I expect to see there. Not that, because I don't buy third-party figures, but one thing I expect is Fans Project is going to update just a little bit more on those headmasters they've been working on for years, and they've been showing off, those triple changer headmasters. I expect to see those.
Yeah, it'd be nice to finally see the horror cons.
I wonder if they're still ever going to come out with them.
Yeah, I mean that's the
They
thing with
still have to
Fans
come out with their
Project
hard head.
is they don't really they just don't have like the release schedule that they once had, which they never really had a good schedule to begin with, but it's like they dropped off the face of the planet. Expectations, I expect to see, your typical Fans toys, whatever there. I really expect to see some more like real good stuff come out of Mastermind Creations. Like I think they stole the show last year, because that's whenever they dropped Calidus and they showed off, Tyrantron, and they showed off like they had the DJD doing Helix and Tesserus, kind of things. But so I really and truly expect to see at least one of those two from the DJD in a prototype form, or I at least expect to see beta their drift, since alpha is coming out like later this year, I think, or next year, something like that. What I hope to see is again from the MMC front. I hope to see some more of those comic designs. I just finished making a custom Rotor Storm, but I hope to see MMC or Mech Ideas, they're the same company, whatever. Kind of announcing at least their Guzzle that they teased, or Rotor Storm, or another Wrecker, something to go on that last stand of the Wreckers, or even Sins of the Wreckers shelf.
I'd like to see that. Bring up Mech Ideas, actual product of that Lyle Kaiser that they
because like they teased it. They showed like, what did they show, like a gray digital render or whatever.
Yeah.
So that would be cool to see. Like that's something I would definitely hope to see. I hope to see Make Toys doing something that isn't cross dimension. I'd like to see them kind of get back to either add-on kits or even they made the little gears and swerve and tailgate. I'd like to see them throw their ring into the comic book design character game as well. Other than that, man, like that's really what I hope to see versus like what I expect to see.
What about the rest of you guys?
One thing I'm really hoping to see some more stuff from Perfect Effect. Like, was it last year that they teased or shown Guerrera?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see something on maybe Big Convoy.
Yeah, they teased that along with Xerxes a while back.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to actually see something on that. Definitely wanting to see Lyle Kaiser Mech Ideas. I can't really think of anything else right offhand.
Yeah, man, third party right now is all Masterpiece.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Stuff.
A Masterpiece scaled Beast Wars Megatron, the T-Rex.
Oh no, man! I don't think they've got, like, I don't think they can actually do it. Like I don't think third party. I mean, it like that would require a bit of hand sculpting, I think, especially to get like textures right and all that. If any of these third parties could come out and show that they could do that, I would be impressed.
I'm just
I wouldn't be on board, but I'd be impressed.
If I'm a third party, before it's even came out, we knew about the Masterpiece Primal for a while. And a lot of times with these guys, it's like, we know several people. Once one person comes out with it, then everybody else is going to come out with, try to come out with theirs. I think that even though I'm not a Beast War fan, I still think if I was a third-party company, that would be something that I would make, because we always talk about these third-party companies like, oh, here's another one doing Devastator, or doing the Stunicon, something like that, or Bruticus. It's like, you need to try to do something a little bit different, and that way you're the first to do it, and it like you have like a huge lead on the next person to try to come up and do it. I think that that would be something that would sell, amongst fans. If it really looked good, would you buy it, Dakota?
If it really looked good, sure. A lot of it depends. Like, I haven't picked up any of the third-party Beast Wars stuff yet because it's all been Perfect Effect, and it's all been like too overpriced in my opinion. So price will play into it. Aesthetic and design will play into it. But I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like you when it comes to Masterpiece. I'm sort of a Takara purist. So I'd probably skip if that were the case. I would enjoy it from afar, but it would not grace these shelves.
What about the rest of you guys? Predictions or things you want?
Yeah, I'll chime into like what Dakota was talking about with MMC. Really, the only ones I really care about a whole lot is MMC and Make Toys. Fans Project has been quiet, and I would say that as far as they are concerned, I'm not sure what's up next. But I will say this: early on, they led the fight. Early on, they were winning the race. Fans Project was the company. They really owned it. So when they go quiet, all I could think is they're shifting gears and trying to come up with how to get back in the fight. I don't really have any predictions. I don't know what they're going to show. But for MMC, I would say you talk about like the Lost Light, the More Than Meets the Eye guys. I got to believe that we're going to see a rung with all the hype and the storylines kind of coming to a head with him. He's been a character that we've seen. I mean, I've seen so many people try to. Yeah, he's got to be shown this year. I'll be really surprised if they don't show him.
Do you think they would retool that from an existing tooling like K-On or Voss?
I don't.
Really?
I think
he'd be brand new?
I think he's going to be a little bit larger, but like I look at like the tailgate. I look at some of the figures that some of these folks have done, and they're so spot on comic book. And then, we had this conversation about Cyclonus. They kind of missed the mark with Cyclonus because they were more worried about how to come up to, they were trying to come up with a figure that they could sell, 3 different versions of, instead of trying to nail down that Cyclonus from the comic, and they failed. Look at that Hot Rod. Look at like the folks that, when you get that tailgate and that Hot Rod next to each other, man, those are like perfect.
Oh, or even their Swerve. The Make Toys Swerve.
Yes, and their Swerve. Yeah. Yes. Even the serving tray, all those things. You
get those 3 and like the leader class Ultra Magnus, and then you put in like the MMC, their Tyrantron. You start putting all those together, and you're like, wow, that's perfect.
Yes.
There's not a good Cyclonus yet.
Yep.
But that's one of those, like, I got the Make Toys tailgate a lot for that Cyclonus add-on. But if a better scaled Cyclonus came out in that same design, oh man, like that would I'd probably immediately put it on eBay.
Yeah. I don't know. I know wrong. That feels like a good solid prediction. I don't know who else on that team might get.
Well, we know Getaway is coming from Calidus. We know we're gonna get Getaway from Calidus. But like as far as like a new mold or something like that,
right?
Yeah, Rung is a pretty good.
I don't know who else is Ratchet. Yeah, if they do Ratchet or Fix It or some of that stuff, I would be into it. I don't know if everybody would be into it. I would be into it.
Nautica.
Yeah, I mean that Nautica we got is obviously not Nautica, but
she's standing in for me right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
No
I mean, I got her with the Shapeways wrench. I'm fanboy just like you guys, but I wouldn't mind seeing like a spot on Nautica either.
Right.
As far as like what I would like to see that no one's doing, I've said this before, and I've said this year after year. If someone comes in and they do that Derek Wyatt stuff from the almanacs for animated, I do think people would be into it. And I'm not talking about the little teeny Mario Brothers thing. I'm talking about like straight off the animation model, like the stuff from like Transwarped with Cyclonus and Spidor, Striker, all that stuff that we saw a glimpse of in Transwarped episode.
Man,
and go
especially that especially Hot Shot. I mean, we see what the toy would have looked like, but just that character model looked so good.
And see, that wouldn't be the first time a third-party company couldn't take, images of a resin prototype and produce something. We see that with was it Garatron? Their Unicron based on the Beast Wars Neo Unicron. Like they can do it, and they should. Like I would. Here's something I would love to see, just to kind of go back. The Transtech stuff. Yeah. I say that every so often. Like I get on a kick, but it's like I would love to see a company pick up those designs. There's pictures out there showing how some of those already established designs work, and they could do it. They can make it work.
Well, if you look at the Calidus, there's no way that you can't see Transtech in that Calidus figure. Look at some of the More Than Meets the Eye stuff. There is some slight Transtech design in those things. The way that they stand, the way that their heads are done. Everything kind of is streamlined and kind of is pointing backwards on them, and it looks really fast.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I'm talking like the Cheetor that we saw.
Oh yeah, definitely
the Starscream, those hard copies that got out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So my thinking is, this is why I think they should do it. Is we've seen Mastermind Creations. I would say that if they're not winning the race, Make Toys is, but they're neck and neck. They have taken this comic book approach, and they've done so well with it. They found a niche in the fiction that the official companies aren't doing well.
Right.
And they ran with it. And I'm just saying someone should take the animated stuff and do the same thing, because I think that the comic book industry is not doing as well as we might think it is. And I look at something like the animated stuff that people liked, and if they do it well and people can start to finish up the line that they were working on, I just think that the fiction drives people to spend money. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen it.
There's a lot of people that wanted that Omega Supreme.
I still do.
And the Devastator, the 3-member Devastator and all that, animated would be a good thing to tap into, especially with it being 10 years old.
Yeah, do your Wasp and then to do a Bug Bite, and I mean, there's all kinds of smart decisions that you can make when you do it. Well, give me that Rosanna.
Well, just some of the other designs. I mean, Power Glide. I mean, this is going to be the first Power Glide figure we get that doesn't turn into a jet. He's like a World War I tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make animated popular again, because I'm about to sell my animated line. So I want to get top dollar.
Dude, what sucks, man, is I've asked you for like a couple of animated figures. You're like, nope, don't have that one. I'm like, well, dude, just give it away to the neighborhood children or something. You know what I mean?
No, dude, I hate the neighborhood kids.
And I'm primal selfish.
They run their skateboard up and down my sidewalk. I gotta yell at them.
That ice cream truck comes by your house too, because those kids, kids.
Dude, I'm literally like screaming, "Get off my lawn!" What about you, Mike?
I'll keep mine short and sweet, because y'all know I don't care for third-party product. So there's nothing really I'm looking forward to. The only thing I would look forward to, hey, hush up. What I would like to see these third-party companies do is to actually finish something before announcing a whole new lineup for the following year. I mean, because they say, like all y'all have mentioned, oh, last year they teased this. They haven't put it out yet. I mean, it's like we've all said before in the past, they all try to beat each other to the punch about getting this announced out, but they can't get the product out. They all, like we said, each one has, they all like 5 or 6 Springers, or all these Devastators, all these Bruticus, all this, and this. And it's just, that's one thing that turns me away from third-party companies, that they all say, let's do this, but then they all can't produce it in the long run, or something happens. And like we talked about earlier, how you gotta get the part to replace it, or they send the part with it and you gotta replace it yourself. That's just too much money to spend on a toy just to turn around and fix it yourself, in my opinion. So I just rather, me personally, I mean, some of the third-party stuff is cool to look at, but just not my cup of tea. I take, for example, that Omega Supreme. Have they even started shipping out any of that yet? A or B?
Thanks
anybody-
towards me.
Yeah,
I
the
don't-
one
I
that,
I think
I
there's
didn't-
one scheduled for this month and one for
okay.
July and August, I think.
Okay, so there we go. It's been a year since they announced this, and they haven't put it out yet.
Mike, I need to get some MMC products in your hand. Like
Yeah,
next time we meet up, I'm gonna let you fiddle around with Coulter and Spartan. I think those will sell you on it.
Yes, Spartan's great.
But Mike, you're not into the fiction either, though, right? I mean, you're not into
Oh
like.
no, I'm into fiction.
I mean, like you're not into the Transformers fiction, are you? Like the IDW, like any of the comics currently?
Yeah, I collect the comics, but
Oh, okay.
I stopped here just recently because I don't read anymore. But I mean, yeah, I like the comics. I mean, I read all the issues up to like the last series, I guess. I mean, what makes me so upset about the comics is that they do so many. They're like, okay, let's quit this series and let's reboot it all over again. Number one.
Well, they weren't
That's-
reboots.
No.
They were
Well, no.
continuations. They just changed the titles.
I see, I understand that, but why started number one again? That's just, I'm old school. I mean, I'm the one that collected all up to 600, 700, 800 of Superman. You know, I stopped collecting when they changed it to number one.
Yeah.
It's these pesky kids, Mike. That's why they do that. These pesky kids, you know.
They don't know good art is what the problem
Well,
is. They don't
it
know
seems
the
it's especially
challenge.
with Transformers now. IDW's had it for
Quite a
10
while.
years now. 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
feels
going
like
on like year number 11, I think. You know, after the first 5 years, you know, you had that they call it the Transformers Volume 1, which was like the first ongoing after, you know, All Hail Megatron and all that other stuff. You know, that had like a 1 through whatever system, and then at that year number 5, it ended. Then you got, you know, your More Than Meets the Eye and your RID, and that ran all the way through for these last 5 years. And it seems like after that 5-year mark, they just kind of cut it, and they're like, all right, so let's just do Lost Light and Optimus Prime, and you know what I mean? Like that's what I feel they do, just to try to like maybe get some more readers on board, because who wants to start, you know, at issue 30 or 49, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sportimus said those pesky kids and their dog too.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I think I don't want to sound like a total G1er either. So I picked up the Cross Dimensions stuff, the first two, just the regular Megatron and Optimus, and I thought they were really well engineered. I'm sure that they're going to show at least one, maybe two more of those. I don't know who they might show, but I'll be down with more Cross Dimension stuff. I like it, and it's a designer type series too. It's a little bit different, but you know, at the end of the day, it's still the characters and some of the same design cues and colors.
Yeah, I did like
But-
Space Pistol Megatron. He was.
He's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like a cross between like G1 and like Cybertronian like IDW, you know, looks, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely futuristic.
Yeah.
I dug both of those.
Let's go ahead and jump into the San Diego Comic-Con part of this, because don't want to go too much longer, and it looks like we're probably not going to get to your house is on fire
No.
again.
Oh, we got to do
We
that.
got to do it, man. I got my
We got to
list.
do it.
It looks
gotta
like it's
do
going to get postponed because we got to tackle the San Diego Comic-Con. What do you think?
Let me go first because mine's super short for SDCC. What I expect to see, Hasbro Filth. What I would like to see, Hasbro Gold.
Oh,
Fair enough.
wishful thinking.
So, I mean, that's it. Like, I expect to see more like Titans Return repaints, but I would like to see some of that Power of the Primes Beast Wars stuff.
Whenever I look at these San Diego Comic-Con things, like I usually, the Transformers is usually not the key thing there for me. For Marvel Legends, I want to see a new X-Men wave, because the X-Men are the ones where I'm like, I want them all.
Yep.
I like them all. Star Wars, Black 6-inch Black Series, I'm going to buy them all. I'm going to army build them all. But a character that I really want, give me Ventress. I really want a Ventress. And maybe like like you're doing some Rebel stuff, and I really think that it's their best work with the 6-inch line. And Rick, I think you said that as well. It's really their best work. I why not some Clone Wars stuff thrown in there as well? So you gave me the Rebels Ahsoka, give me a Clone Wars Ahsoka that way, and then give me a Clone Wars Ventress, give me a Clone Wars, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Start filling out, some of that line, or even some more of the Rebels. But I really love Clone Wars, and I think a lot of people, they loved Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It was the best part of the prequels, the Clone Wars animated series was. It much better than the three, episodes 1, 2, and 3. So give us some of those characters, and then just I'm hoping that we see. We know we're getting a land speeder, and I forget what else. I'd like an X-wing, like another big vehicle. I'd like an X-wing.
I don't think it's impossible. I just don't know how well. I haven't heard them talk about how well the TIE Fighter sold. Did it sell enough to warrant doing another big one? They would be able to tell us that.
Yeah, that's something I want to know. Or like I said with the TIE Fighter, I've got 2 of them. I thought about buying a third, and I probably will at some point if I can ever. I want it to go under $50. I think it's $69 at Amazon, so I might just have to buy it at that, because I want one for the First Order. I want to send one to Dakota to paint it gray for like the original series, and then I want another one so that I can send to Dakota's Customs and him do a Sabine TIE Fighter where it's all like crazy colors and stuff like that. God, that's going to take a lot of paint, but those with the TIE Fighter, you could keep the centerpiece for it, leave those wings off, and then you can just attach, like you can interceptor, wings to it. So just, you have that mold with the center part, but just now it's interceptor wings on there. So you could do that. You could even do it where it's not the bomber, because that's a double. Trying to think of what else. Anyways, like come up with some. I know Hasbro how you just like to like do slight retoolings so you can resell a product over again. It's a perfect reason to do that. So
I was gonna say, you got to think with the tool, like whenever they made the tooling, I have no doubt in my mind that they made the different wing sets for them. No doubt in my mind at all.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm doing my job buying more than one. I even bought it whenever it was $180, the first one, because I wasn't even thinking about it going down in price. I was like, man, these things are gonna sell out. So that for Star Wars. Transformers, whatever you come out with. I want the Target Masters, characters. Or they're starting to come out with those. We get the Autobots, Target Master characters. Want to see those. I think that shouldn't be too hard. They're doing the Decepticon ones. What else is there? Super 7 with Masters of the Universe. Filmation. See the new Filmation stuff, and obviously DC. I want to see what they're doing with the animated series. We talked about this. Are you going to give us Superman villains? Are you going to give us Justice League Unlimited? Like, are you going to continue with that? Because they've given us everything. It seems like that line must be doing well, because we've got the Batmobile, we've got the Batwing, we're about to get the Batcave.
Yeah, I'm worried. The only thing I worry about it, because it feels like it slowed down the last 2 months for whatever reason. We got those blurbs about some things were being canceled with the Icons wave, and then I wonder if it's kind of been quiet. So maybe they're just holding back for the convention season. Maybe. I hope that's what it is, because I agree with you. I would say the Batman Beyond stuff too. Like, I want more of that stuff, or Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I want every single character model from Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. From the Joker gang at the beginning, with Harley's like granddaughters, and the werewolf dog with the cybernetic, and the guy carrying the pumpkin. I can't remember all their names. I want all that. I would like to have the old Barbara Gordon too from that.
Old Babs.
Yes. The thing I'm most excited about, obviously, I love, because Sideshow and Hot Toys stuff will be on display at the at the San Diego stuff. I want like a deluxe Luke Jedi Hot Toys with like a base, with like a deluxe base, either the skiff where he's, you know, about to walk the plank, or either like a little base from the throne room. I want the cape from the beginning of the movie. I want the blasted hand from the skiff fight. I want lightsaber. I want all the stuff for that Luke Jedi. And then I want them to show Spider-Man Homecoming Vulture, and I want the freaking spinning things on the. I want them to actually spin. I want them to like go all out, give me lights for his eyes and his helmet. Yeah, like I want to see them do that, and I don't want them to do this Hulkbuster thing where, you know, they come up with like all the bells and whistles later, and it takes 3 years to make it. I want that.
You want a 3-foot wingspan?
Yes. Yes. Yep. I want it to be scale with my freaking Spider-Man. So whatever it takes.
Oh, and yes, ladies, he is taken.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like I was telling you, that Wave 1 has come out. Wave 2, I've got it on pre-order. The DC Bombshells by DC Collectibles. Oh my God! Like, if you're a fan of the DC, you know, females, I'm trying to think. So they, like, this Wave 1 was Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, Batwoman, Harley Quinn. The next wave is going to be Katana, Mara, Batgirl, and Hawk Girl. So I'm like, okay, love all those. I'm trying to think, like, what do I want them in a Wave 3? Because I've looked at some of the art that they've done for these characters. The Killer Frost looks awesome. Starfire, like, they have her like wearing a fire helmet, and like she's like throwing a bucket of water over on her hair, that, you know, because it's fire. Like, it's a unique design.
It's a little wet.
Yeah, and Killer Frost has got like one of those little Russian hats and like little coat, and she's on skis. You know, so I like those two. Zatanna, a Black Canary. I think a Power Girl would be cool too. Like, I mean, there's all these characters that I would absolutely love. You know, and then you start, you know, jumping into like Livewire and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many. Like,
don't forget
DC,
my Mary Marvel.
Yeah,
us old fellas.
Female characters are they're so powerful. They're like, it's strong. Like, Vixen. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, give me a Vixen as well. Yeah, I think, you know, a Bumblebee. There's so many. DC's female characters are really strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm glad I'm finally, like, Hawk Girl and Batgirl is in Wave 2. Like, you know, that'll satisfy me for a little bit right there. What about the rest of you guys?
I just want my mission battles play set from Hasbro this year. That's all I want. No
hope that maybe there's a surprise G.I. Joe announcement, or?
Yeah, not going to happen. I'm not. It ain't happening. We know. We know.
We talked to him at length. Like, everything hinges on that movie. There will be no product that doesn't have something to do with that movie outside of the Missile Command Center exclusive.
That's all I want. My Missile Command Center that a buddy of mine has. He gets stuff from me every year, and I want one to keep in box, one to open. It would have been nice to see something a hell of a lot better from Hasbro for Transformers, which all you got was a Voyager with some better paint and some rubber tire in it. I think it had. Did it come with painted wheels, Rick?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
have they unveiled everything? I thought there was like one secret thing that we don't know for Transformers.
Probably just TFcon was something new.
I think TFcon is going to be pushed back because my pre-orders were pushed back till August, because there's supposedly a real bad hip issue with that toy.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I wasn't gonna do the whatever fix because like I don't manhandle my figures anyway.
Oh, I don't either. But
I'm gonna transform it like once, maybe do a review, take some pictures, and then it's gonna sit on a shelf or on the floor for the rest of its life. What about surprise? Like I think every once in a while at Toy Fair and SDCC, there's kind of like maybe a surprise toy line. Like I was trying to think that, you know, something that they've been able to keep under wraps this entire time because they wanted the big pub and announcement to be, you know, special for SDCC. And I'm just like thinking back at Hasbro applying for all those patents for masks. And I'm like, because I think we thought last year at San Diego Comic-Con we might see something. And then we were like, okay, maybe it's got to be Toy Fair. It's got to be Toy Fair.
Yeah, I remember seeing Toy Fair.
It didn't happen again, and so now I'm like, okay, maybe is it this San Diego Comic-Con?
See, I came to the conclusion that it was all just for the comic stuff, which got canceled. So I wouldn't expect masks.
Well, I'm just saying, there's usually like something that pops up to where you're like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna, you know, that's news. Maybe that. Who did Tycho? Tycho did Dino Riders, right?
I don't know.
What about Micronauts?
See, that got canceled too. That was another comic too. Yeah,
Well,
so
I
like
think there's not gonna be nothing surprising on toy line for that.
maybe they'll announce like a live action movie to really gauge Mask and Micronauts, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I think the toy industry has changed, and after all these conversations about everything hinging on the Paramount, you know, making movies, that's the new thing. Like everything comes from the movies. So I don't know. I don't see them. I can't imagine them putting out mass toys at a mass release retail store without a movie behind it.
Well, with Transformers sucking balls, I'm assuming that's going to really hinder the whole crossover thing they talked about doing eventually.
Thing is, no one's reporting on that. Like, none of the big sites are really reporting on that, that's weird. You know what I mean? Because like the last night's going to lose money. Like Paramount, Hasbro, they are going to lose money on that.
Yep.
I think they already have.
Oh, Sportibus said probably a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series and toy line. You know what? I could be happy if Playmates said, you know what? We're finally gonna do those classics, Krang and Shredder. Like you made the molds for them, give them to us.
Well, we got the classic Krang. It was the Shredder we never got.
No. Remember, Playmates, they came out with the classics. They're Toys R Us exclusives. Some of them. One set was a Walmart exclusive, but they came out with the first four. Then Walmart got the first movie set, I think, or second, I forget which one it was. And then Toys R Us got the other movie set. And then they came out with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh, never mind.
And then they showed us the prototypes. It's Krang in his android body, which he was tall, and then it was Shredder. And it was like, all right, looking forward to this. This is going to be awesome. You know, this new Ninja Turtle line that I can get behind. And then they were like, yeah, you know, we're going to cancel those because a lot of people didn't really buy Bebop and Rocksteady or something like that. And then they came out with two more lines of the Turtles for their movie stuff, for movie one, and then Secret of the Ooze, the movie two.
Right, I was thinking of the retro ones is what I was thinking of. I got mixed up on that one.
No, I want you, Rick. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know what he's talking about now.
Okay, yeah, I want that Shredder and that Krang and android body.
Yeah.
I want those, and I want those to sell really well to where if you can give us a Casey, April, and Splinter, then I think I could be happy with that line. I would like everything. But I want those two classics. I'm echoing on somebody. anyways, we can wrap it up. We're gonna have to do House on Fire next time, 4 weeks from now.
Well, I guess before we ended, I just hope to see some more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Time to turn new molds. Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
We didn't talk about the Transformer stuff. What do you think, Dalton?
It's hard to figure out what to expect for Titan's Return because a lot of it could be obvious, but a lot of it could just be straight up repaints of crap we already got before.
Do you think they'll wait for the Power of the Primes thing? Do you think we'll see it here at San Diego, or is it going to be at HasCon? You think they'll wait the extra 2 months?
I can maybe see 1 or 2 figures, but they're probably going to definitely save Primal for HasCon. I mean, that's fair enough right there. Maybe a Cyclonus for Titan's Return. I mean, they've already done Megatron and Scourge. I mean, why not just finish the trio?
Yeah.
Because they just did them in Combiner Wars.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago now. Usually they, try to pump out things every couple of years.
Hey, Rick, you see anything you like?
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, you don't see the screen?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, I see it. And it's good.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Well, he must be thinking of that Invisible Woman again.
Yeah, definitely some of the Autobot target masters like Sure Shot, Point Blank. Just some new molds would be nice.
Yeah, no, that's 2 that they haven't done. That's true. You could probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Crosshairs easily out of maybe Cup. Just change some of the molding around.
Yeah, they probably will finish it off with some of those guys. That makes sense. They're not like super popular characters, but if they're trying to kind of get to everybody, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I'd be happy to see some of the double target masters for the Autobots, like Landfill, Quick Mix.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and give us the rest of the dual target masters.
What was the other one? I can't remember.
I know that a Decepticon one's the Autobots. Yeah, you got.
We need Crankcase.
What I was thinking is to kind of go back on something we talked about Cybercast is again unlikely, but it would be one of those yes because we know what Takara is going to do. Is if you saw and they were like, hey, new mold and this is like a Nightbeat and Siren,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd be like, because of the mold, we know what Takara is going to do. Like that I'm trying to think of like what would get me really hyped up. And
I would be super hyped. Yeah. That would get me hyped up.
That's what it said Seekers.
Oh, God, no.
Brand new.
Reissue all the classics.
Oh my God.
If they do that too,
exclusive is just every Seeker classic in a huge box set.
If they do that, I'm just going to start calling them slum lords. They're just ridiculous. Just trying to take all my money for free. Same olds.
And bumblebees.
Lots and lots of bumblebees.
It's a huge box set of all the bumblebees. Every Bayformer bumblebee ever released.
Pink, purple, orange for
October. Now that's not bumblebee. That's Laserbeak.
Right.
Get it twisted. So
right.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it. That's an hour and a half. It's about as long as we usually like to do. So. Got a lot of other stuff, so that can be for next time. So that's good. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell people where they can find you?
You can find me here on YouTube as All About City Toys and on Twitter as BotconFan1978.
Coda?
You can find me everywhere at PrimalSabbath.
D?
I'm Dalton. You can find me everywhere at Daltonian STFs.
And Rick?
And I'm on Twitter as Shatrdglassjazz.
And you can find me, G1Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages, the G1Hextron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.